A warm greetings to all my dear children. So now I am going to take your next chapter. So your next chapter is about matter. So what is matter, children? Yes, so matter is nothing but it's a thing that occupies space and has weight. So when we weigh it, it has some weight, or it occupies the space. So those things are called matter. So in this lesson we are going to see the states of matter, how matter can be changed from one state to another state, and we are going to see about what is solute, solvent and solution. Let us get into the topic. First, what is matter? So matter is anything that has mass. So here mass refers to weight. So here the mass means it refers to weight. So it has some weight and takes up space, which occupies some space. So it occupies some space in any condition, okay. That is called matter. So matter is anything that occupies space or it has a weight or mass. So that is called as matter. So now let us see matter. What is this matter is made up of? See, all the things in this world, it is made up of tiny particles, right. So our body is made up of cells. The same way the non-living things are made up of tiny particles called molecules. So the matter is made up of tiny particles, small particles. So that is called as molecules. M-O-L-E-C-U-L-E-S, molecules. So that is why a group of molecules form together a matter. So matter is made up of a tiny particles called exactly molecules. Now, so this matter, they are three different states. So it can be solids, it can be liquids, or it can be gases. So solids, S-O-L-I-D-S, liquids, L-I-Q-U-I-D-S, and gases, G-A-S-E-S. So the matter can be in these three states. So how many states of matter are there? There are three states of matter. How many? Three states of matter. What are the three states of matter? Yes, solids, this is solids, liquids, it can be in the form of liquids or it can be in the form of gases, right. So now let us see in detail about these type of matter. So first we will see about solids. So what is this solids? So if you see, all the matter is made up of molecules, right. So when we see the molecules in solids, so the molecules in the solids are tightly packed. So you can see the molecules are tightly packed and there is no intermolecular space. What is intermolecular space? In between each molecules there is no place, there is no space. So in solids it is closely packed. So in solids it is closely packed, so that tightly packed, so that there is no intermolecular space. So if you see in between the molecules there is no much space, right. So it is very tightly packed like this, right. Next, they are hard, fixed shape and size. So if we take solids, solids are very hard. It is very hard. If you touch and see, it is very hard and fixed shape. So it has some fixed shape. We can say that by seeing we can say that shape of the solids, and it has a fixed size. So when we weigh it, we can easily say solids have fixed size. So we can weigh and tell, okay. So if we take examples are wood, stone, paper and book. So if you take a stone, we can weigh it, we can measure the weight of the stone. right? So it has a fixed size. And the same thing if we take a book, so we can say the book is in a cuboid shape, I mean a rectangular shape also, okay, it can be cuboid shape also. We can say the shape of the object, or we can say the shape of the solid, right? And then it is hard. Wood, if you take wood or stone or book or paper, if you touch, it is hard, you can feel the hardness, right? So these are called as solids. Understood? Yes, solids or examples are wood, stone, paper, book. So next we will see about liquids. So what are these liquids? So liquids, if we take the molecules in the liquids are loosely packed. So it has some space. So it will have some space between the molecules. Okay. So it is loosely packed in liquids and they have fixed size. We can measure the quantity of the liquid. So we can say, right, 1 liter of water or 1 liter of milk, like that we can measure the quantity of the liquid. So it has a fixed size. They don't have fixed shape. Whether we can say the shape of the liquids? No, we cannot say the shape of the water, or we cannot say the shape of the milk, right? So it does not have a fixed shape, and it takes the shape of the container in which they kept. So if I keep the water in a glass, it takes that particular shape. If I take the water and pour it in a bowl, it takes that particular shape of the bowl. So it is kept in a container. So it occupies the space, shape when it is kept in a container. So they take the shape of the container in which it is kept. They flow from one place to another. So solids will not flow, but liquids flow. We can take the glass of water and we can pour it to the another glass of water. So it flows. Liquids flows from one place to another. Examples are milk, water, oil and juice. Examples are milk, water, oil. Oil is also a liquid. Juices. So juices is also a liquid. So these are all the examples of the liquids. So you can see the intermolecular space. It has some amount of intermolecular space. Okay, that's why it is loosely packed. So you can see the gap, right? So this is called liquids. So liquids have definite size but no shape. It will flow, right? And molecules are loosely packed. Next we will see about gases. So what are gases? So gases, molecules are very loosely packed. So in liquids it is loosely packed, but whereas in gases it is very loosely packed, because the spaces between each molecule is large. So it has more amount of space between the molecules. So that is why they are very loosely packed. So you can see the molecules, right? So it is very loosely packed. They don't have fixed shape and size. So liquids have fixed size, no shape, but gases, they don't have shape and they don't have size. Both we cannot say the definite size and definite shape. They fill up all the available space. So this is the only matter that occupies all the available space. So whatever, if it is kept, if we pour the water in a glass, it occupies some amount of space. But if we flow the gas in particular places, so it occupies all the available space, right? So what are the examples of gases? Air, காற்று, okay? So air is a mixture of gases. So air is a mixture of gases which contains oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. So these are all the gases that is present in the air. So the example of gases, air, or we can say the oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. So these are all the example of gases. So gases or molecules are very loosely packed, they have large intermolecular space and they don't have definite shape and size, they flow even from one thing to another thing, right, and they occupies all the available space, right. The example is air. So next we will see about the differences between the solids and liquids and gases. So as I already told you, the arrangement of molecules in solids very closely packed, tightly packed, in liquids loosely packed, in gases very loosely packed. And when we talk about shape, solids fixed shape, liquids there is no shape, gases there is no shape. When we talk about the size, solids have definite size, liquids have definite size, but gases do not have the definite size, right. So this question, maybe you get the question in your 5 mark or 2 mark, okay. So keep in mind, you have to explain about the molecule arrangement, size and shape, right, clear, okay. So next we will move about on to the change of state. What is this change of state? So we can change the state of matter. So we can change the solid into liquid and liquid into gas, again gas into liquid and liquid into solid, right. So that is what change of state. So how this change of state happens? So we can change the state of matter by heating or cooling. So when we heat a matter, it changes into another matter. When we when we cool a matter, it changes into another state of matter, right. So that is what we are going to see. Matter can change from one state to another on heating or cooling. So on heating or cooling. So heating, I will just simply explain you with a symbol. So this is what heating, okay. So this one, a triangle, it means that heating. And what is cooling? Simply we can put a star. So it means that cooling, right. So now if we take a solid, so when we heat a solid, it changes into liquid. So this process is called melting. The same way when we heat a water, this water is changed into gas or water vapor. So this process is called evaporation. Now again, the down process is what? Cooling. So the above process is heating and the below process is cooling. So when we cool a gas, so the gas is changed into water. So this process is called condensation. When we cool a water vapor, the water vapor is changed into water. Again, when we cool cool means in a higher temperature, okay. I mean in a very lower temperature. So when we cool means it always minus degree, right. So lower temperature. So when we cool this liquid or water, it is changed into solid. So it is changed into ice. So when that process is called freezing. So that is why you are freezing the water. If you keep the water in a freezer, so it becomes solid. Have you understood? Yes, solid changed into liquid when we heat. Again, liquid is changed into gas when we heat. The same way the reverse process is by cooling. Gases changed into liquid by cooling. Liquid changes into solid by cooling, right. So now we will see about melting. What is this melting? So with the process by which a solid changes into liquid. So ice can be changed into water when we heat it. So if you see here ice, it is a ice. So ice is a solid. So when we keep outside, because of the temperature, high temperature, so it is melting, right. So it is changed into liquid. So this process is called melting. Melting means uruguradu, okay. So solid is changed into liquid on the process of melting. So you can see the ice is changed into water, right. Here also the ice is changed into water. Here also the ice cubes are changed into water. So the process by which a solid changes into liquid. Solid changes into liquid. This process is called melting, MELT. T-I-N-G, melting, right. So, this melting happens when we heat the solid, right. So, next we will see about evaporation. So, what is this evaporation? Again, when we heat the liquid, it is changed into gas. So, when you take water and you boil it, so sometimes you can see some water vapor comes out of the water, right. So, that is called, you can see the water vapor. So, this water is changed into water vapor, the liquid is changed into gas. So, this process is called evaporation. So, you can see the sun takes up the water into water vapor because of the heat, because of the heat of the sun, the water from the sea or from the land is evaporated as water vapor, right. So, this process is called evaporation, E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N. So, the process by which a liquid changes into gas. Clear? Yes. So, next we will see about condensation. So, this is your cooling process. So, in heating process we saw melting and evaporation. Condensation is your cooling process. So, the reverse process. So, the gas is changed into liquid. So, the process by which a gas, so if we take a water vapor and we cool the water vapor is changed into water. So, the gas changed into liquid. So, you can see sometimes when we close a boiling water, so what happens? The water vapor touches the plate of the upper surface. If you close the lid, so what happens? The water vapor touches the plate, right. So, after for some time if you open and see, there are tiny drops of dew drops, water. So, it means that the water vapor when it touches the lid is cool, right. So, the water vapor is changed into water in that plate. So, that process is called condensation. So, condensation means gas changed into liquid. So, the last one, freezing. So, what is freezing? Freezing also under cooling only. So, the process by which liquid changes into solid. Of course, you are all familiar with this because usually in summer season we used to prepare ice cubes, right, by keeping the water in the ice cubes tray and keeping in the freezer. So, this process is called freezing. So, the process by which a water or liquid changes into ice or solid. So, this is called freezing. So, you can see the water is changed into ice, the liquid is changed into solid, right. Are you clear? So, freezing means liquid into solid, right. So, almost you learnt about the melting, then evaporation, condensation and freezing. So, now we will see what are solute and what are solvent and what is solution. So, solute are most of the things that are solid in nature. So, most of the solids, solid means you know, right, which has some weight, which has some shape. So, any solids that mix with liquids. So, any liquid that mixes that dissolves the solid is called solvent. So, mostly solute or solids and solvent or liquids. So, the liquids that dissolve, karayo, okay va? So, that dissolves the solids are called solvent, and the solute means the solids that is dissolved in a liquid or in a solvent, those are called solute, okay. So, the example of solute are salt and sugar. So, when you take some salt and when you add it in water, whether the sugar melt, dissolve? Yes, exactly. So, the salt, if you take a salt and you put inside a water, again the salt will dissolve, right. So, solvent, it can be a water or it can be a juice, but most of the mostly water is the universal solvent. So, water is the universal solvent. So, solute means examples are salt and sugar that is always solids when it is dissolved in the water or when it is dissolved in the solvent. So, when this two mixes, we get what? We get solution. Mostly solution also will be in the form of liquids. So, when we add salt in water, we get salty water. So, salty water is a solution. Salt is a solute, water is a solvent. So, same way when we add sugar in milk, sugar is a solute, milk is a solvent. We get sweetie milk, right? So, sweetie milk is a solution. Clear? Yes. So, now next we will see the solution the same way. Solute plus solvent gives solution. So, when we add some blue color particles with the water, so we get bluey water, right? So, this is a solution. Solute plus solvent gives solution. So, water is a universal solvent. So, most of the liquids that dissolve the solute are called solvents, but water is a universal solvent which dissolves most of the solutes. So, almost we are in the end of this lesson. So, in this lesson you learned what are the solids, liquids and gases, and what are the specific characters of the solid, liquids, gases, and you learnt about the differences, and you learn how we can change the matter. So, we can change the matter from by heating or cooling, and you learnt about what is melting, condensation, evaporation, freezing, and you learnt what is solute, solvent and solution. So, now it is your question time. So, I am going to ask question. Now, Danya, tell me one example of solute. Yes, salt, very good. You can even say sugar also, very good. So, now next Rahul, tell me what we get when we add solute and solvent. Exactly, we get solution. Yes, solute plus solvent gives solution. Now, Ravi, tell me what is the difference between solids, liquids and gases in terms of shape? Yes, solids have definite shape, liquids do not have definite shape, gases do not have definite shape. Very good, sit down. Next, Mukundan, tell me what is the differences between the solid, liquid and gases in terms of size? Yes, so solids have definite size, liquids also have definite size and gases do not have definite size. Very good. So, now almost your lesson is over. So, go through this lesson again and again. So, in the book back exercises we have given many questions. I have answered all the questions which is asked in the book back, and if you go below this link you can find a description called Google Drive. Just click that link and download the notes. So, in that notes we have even given some extra questions also. So, read that also, and the 2 marks, 5 marks, whatever it is given, prepare yourself, read well, again and again read and write many times, okay, and do the self assessment. So, by doing the self assessment you will come to know how far you have understood the matter, right. Thank you, have a good day.